button. And then soft intro. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back after a 1 month absence. Be it if you're watching now, watching a month from now, make that 2 month absence, or watching somehow in the past, then you cheated, obviously. Welcome back to more torture. The long awaited part 9 of the Pokemon Grind Effect. It's back! We're gonna get. I'm just throwing a link out there, and then we'll go in and show the merry band of misfits, the new expendables, and go from there because it's not pretty. It's not pretty. We've been in this game 35 hours, and it's kind of bad. It's not as bad as I thought. I will say that is not as bad as I thought. So we have Failure Jr., who is our ringleader, level 52 Gyarados, and I'm going to take this time to check to see if the stream is up on my end and check thingies. A lot of HMs and Hyper Beam. It's Gyarados. I'm hoping all else fails, he can carry us. We got Bill, the level 32 Hypno. We've had Bill for quite a while. Bill's arguably the best Psychic type we're gonna get. So, again, we're praying. We're running a Hypnosis set for memes. But otherwise, it's Bill. Kind of poop. But what do you do? I think there was something I was using Bill for, but I totally forgot. Now we got Volti, the extremely useless Electrode. If you're looking for Thunder-type moves on him, look elsewhere. This hurts. We got my wallet. Good old level 33 Muck. I mean, look at that moveset. 10 out of 10, am I right? He's also bad. And then we got Top Gun. Level 36 Pidgeot. He might actually help save the run. He's also very so-so, but him and Failure Jr. are the best bet. And then we got Tomato the Quagsire, who's there for comic relief. Tomato's our oldest Pokemon at this point, because we had Tomato back when we only had one gym badge. So, yeah, this is going to be very grind-heavy. We have 15 badges. We still got to beat Blue. We still got to go up to Mount Silver. We still got to get dunked on by Red. And then I'll be content with moving on to Emerald. Hopefully I can scrounge up a victory from the expendables here. And let me tell you, it's not going to be great. It's going to involve a lot of grinding. And for that, I'm so sorry. I'm going to make sure I have Battle Annies off and not exit the menu like I just did. Good. My favorite part of... Let's see, let's exit out so we have Victor Red music.
Time to do some grinding.
I hate grind episodes. This is what nearly caused me to start Emerald. I have to grind everybody up to level 60.
Your stream looked good, by the way.
What was that?
Your stream looked good, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I did a quick test just to make sure everything was showing up. It's been a little bit since I pulled it out. But hopefully we just, get a break. And while I'm aware I could go and take on Elite Four, I'm also aware I could not take them all on in series without eating the poo-poo right now. But we can turn this around if we can get to Mount Silver. We can add some true firepower to the team. We get a chance of a Larvitar.
Dying.
Yeah, well, hopefully nobody dies. You know how much of a pain in the butt it's going to be to make room on the death counter? I've only lost half the game's Pokédex.
I mean, there's room there on the right.
Yeah, but not really, because, Chat appears on the right. And I know there's no chat right now, but you got a plan. Ah, come on, failure junior, level up faster, dang it. The reason why I wanted to start Emerald was because, I'm not trying to sound cocky, because all my Nuzlocks have ended up in outstanding failure. But I feel like if I were to start Emerald, I could probably get at least 5, maybe 6 gym badges in the first episode. The only reason that stopped me is that's a lot of assets to change about. That's a lot of editing, and I just didn't have the power within.
So in
Once,
short,
oh, sorry,
you're lazy.
kind of. At least today. Today's a lazy day. Sounds like tomorrow will be too, because I don't think anybody else is gonna. If I end up with a very small group for death games, I'm gonna be mildly upset.
What time are you planning on starting it?
Probably around 7, 8. Why?
Yeah, it probably won't be done.
Well, theoretically, how late would I have to I mean, it depends upon scheduling, because technically the day after is New Year's Eve, and I think that's Saturday, right? Oh no, that's Friday.
New Year's Eve is Saturday.
Are you sure Eve's Saturday?
No.
I was gonna
Look at
say, I feel like it
yeah,
might be
no.
Friday.
New Year's Eve is Friday.
Okay, that ain't bad.
My buddy's also planning on coming down here Friday.
Well, we won't be hosting New Year's Eve. Well, that's true. He may end up traveling. Fudge.
But he may also have a new computer he wants to try out.
That's true. True.
And assuming you guys don't get snowed in.
Well, we have snow here, and we have a little report of a little more, but most of the roads are looking pretty fine. So,
Yeah, you're saying you guys are expecting more tomorrow?
I guess we're talking about a slight sprinkling overnight, but nothing I'm worried about. Usually, snow doesn't last too long, so.
Yeah, we probably got about a foot down here.
Ooh. Yeah, we had a couple of inches, but nothing to write home about. Oh, pressing the wrong button. I was wondering nothing wasn't happening. Oh man, because I really want it to go off without a hitch. I actually have a prize up that's pretty decent considering Steam sale currently. Like, I don't know. It's something new, and I actually went through the trouble to make sure I had the spawns set up exactly perfect. You know how long it took to make sure I would spawn a match without any of the dumpy pre-made empires? Did you know there's a lot of things Stellaris looks for on a duplicate flag to cause empires not to spawn?
No.
Yeah, how about one of those is what star formation you picked for your home planet? So I had to go back and randomize a bunch of star formations, and I'm sitting here just shaking my head. You only have one empire can spawn with Doomsday. That made me upset.
Really?
Yeah, there's a bunch of. It's kind of like the whole only one empire can spawn with a ring world stipulation, unless they're both human controlled. Human controlled emps overwrite any of the duplicate emp clauses, to my knowledge. But yeah, it was stupid. But I finally got it to work. Although I need to make a post about it in the prize chat. What's it called? Blah. I decided to add a few empires that weren't straight up determined exterminator, devouring swarm, or determined fanatic purifier. We've added a couple barbarity spoilers. And then I realized there's another civic you can take that makes it where you can give out diplomatic deals, but you can't receive any.
Weird.
So I had to give that to the Voldemort's Death Eaters race that I made. I was running out of ideas. I needed 30 relatively evil minds. I got down to a point where I had like 5 left, so I grabbed 5 of the relatively common house imps, and I was like, alright, let's make dark variations. I pulled a Konami strat.
Nice.
Tell you what, though, Buddy's empires are scary.
He's good at making them, that's for sure.
He is! Like, I'm sitting there, and I did a few sims just to see the overall AI behavior. I could help but notice that, oh man, the issue is most of his names cost me my G rating, but I'm pretty sure I've already cursed enough to cost that anyway. But something like seeing blurbs that say COVID-19 and hentai getting bigger and bigger and bigger on the galaxy map. I actually have strats to how I'm going to survive long enough to crown a winner, too.
Isn't it the last person standing?
Last person standing who isn't me. Because if I counted, I feel like that would make it a little unfair. But,
Well, you wouldn't gain anything, you just wouldn't lose anything.
well, yeah, and I wanted to make sure that somebody won the prize at the end, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. The endgame crisis is definitely going to be the kill screen. Based on my math, I would not be surprised if it pulls out 1 million fleets. Or 1 million size fleets. Which is literally the only reason I made it that way. I wanted to have a definitive kill screen. That way, for sure, I'd have a winner. I'm just curious what you all are gonna do to defend.
So what were the rules for that?
The only major rules are you cannot go Gestalt consciousness, so no hive mind or machine AI. You also cannot go phonetic purifier. For obvious reasons. And then the only other rule that I think I'm going to tuck in there when we begin is while you can go become Crisis, you cannot take the research to Star Eaters. No instant win conditions. Because I also have in there no cheesing, no triple cheese deluxe builds, which was already there just to encompass the whole trying to discourage people from building a Unity-based build to win by the Doomsday device. Like, no, I'm sorry. If I see the flag that the big everyone needs to go to war with you now flag, then you immediately forfeit your spot. Or I might just outright ban it. Just to make the overall surrounding AI that much more ferocious. Shine some light on galactic fleet projection for once. Finally, we get a ride on. That's some good experience. Oh, no, I'm debating. It's like, I want to do a game where everybody and everything is machines, and then make the Crisis contingency.
That's mean.
Oh, yeah. But I already got a strat to survive. I think we're going to do a technocracy build and we're gonna focus on gene manipulation. But I will say this: I feel like aquatics will be extremely strong here because that super weapon should be effective against almost every single enemy empire. On a side note, however, I nearly contemplated putting in criminal syndicates, and it was a good idea on paper, but I just felt like they'd get annihilated by the hive minds.
Well, the problem with criminal syndicates is it can screw someone over just from the crime internally.
So there's a couple of ways to get around that. You know that, right? Actually, quite a few, and I'm not just talking about precinct houses. Everyone thinks I'm talking about precinct houses. I swear I'm not. Although they're vital if you want to remove it. If you get the crime that gives you like all of the pop-ups and shit, you know, the annoying crime that causes you to like lose population and that sort of deal, you can just negotiate with the crime lord and not get those pop-ups ever again.
Hmm.
Now, if you hate the idea of having a tenth of your population as criminals, then yeah, you might want to think about either installing a nice precinct house or psi house, or you can just colonize a shit world and designate it a penile planet. Them and the penile worlds and resort worlds actually help a fair bit. Not saying they're mind blowing, but if you're on a lull in research, worth going after. Oh no, I'm just happy I figured out how to send the raiding clan after people. I didn't know how to do that before, or have really interaction with them aside from killing them. And then I started figuring out the whole man, I can hire their own mercenaries to fight wars for me if I need, which is like only good until mid game, but still.
Are you the one who was sending?
Who what?
Are you the one who was sending them after me?
I didn't send all of them after you, I only sent like two.
Dick.
But I'm surprised you didn't know. At least one of them had to come from me. You can't send what's it called? You can't send an orbital bombardment request to the mercenaries unless you are rivaled.
Well, they didn't get that far.
Well, yeah, because by like mid game you have citadels with just jaw dropping firepower. They just fizzle up and die. Once you do enough damage to their fleets, they just say to hell with it and retreat.
So they never got to that point. All I knew is someone sent these after me.
They're actually useful. I like to send raids on people right before I go to war, just so I can potentially cripple some of their star bases as well as their what's it called, armament supply.
Are you telling me you're going to go to war with me?
No, one, because I would defeat the major purpose. I'm trying to be as uninvolved with you guys as possible, aside from trade deals. And two, even if I wanted to, I have a clause set in place in the rules stating that you can't go to war with another human-controlled empire for 200 years.
I'm talking in our normal game.
What? No. You was just to fuck with you. You're on the other edge of the map from me.
That's why it didn't make sense on why you want to go to war with me. Unless
Like,
you want
I
to.
did it just to mess with you, just to get the reaction out of it. It's kind of the same reason why I would blow up people's buildings and their star bases using espionage and junk like that. I just do it to get a rise. Then I knew you were heavily guarded enough. I don't think
Well,
any of the raids I sent ever actually pierced you.
nah, they usually got stopped at the outer ring. Well, where it actually was defended, not some of the outer ones that I just took and didn't care if I lost.
See, I want DLC that makes it where there's a, say, a 5% chance of the Elgate is a mercenary clan. Just imagine that, except you pay, instead of paying like a mild exuberant cost to buy a fleet of mediocre bashers, you pay a really exuberant cost to rent a fleet of, what's it called? Grey Tempest.
They really do need to fix the spawn rate of the Great Tempest because, good God, I'm tired of it.
I actually don't mind it too much.
Well,
Because,
it'd be nice to have some other options pop through.
I mean, I've seen a few pop through, it's just we're very unlucky. And the Grey Tempest is like, I choose you!
Because the first game that Buddy and I did with the L Gates, we got one of the good ones.
What, with Civilization?
I don't remember what it was at this point.
Because I know there's one where it was me, you, and Buddy. You were a mega corporation. Whoa, that's good. And I was the Jahetma domain, the penile looking mushroom people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if you were playing on that one or if it was just Buddy and I.
No, it would have been all three of us. Because you and Buddy spawned like up north. Buddy was a Green Empire that I can't remember the name of. Because I was down south. But yeah, no, because it was the guys are like, "Hi, we're from the Elgate, and you can travel freely, but don't go in that zone."
And then what does Buddy do?
Yeah, he walks right into it.
Auto discovery? Right into it. Which is good to know that, you can turn off that now.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I remember that game distinctively because we had one of the Fallen that had spawned between me and Buddy, because two Fallen Empires were between us. One of them was the Machine Guys, and the other one was Holy Protectors, Holy Guardians. And I remember they turned on the douchebag switch and immediately went to war with Buddy. And it's actually why there's a call out to that game. It's a very niche call out, but one of the races has a chance of spawning is an exact look-alike, literally called the Layach Guardians. And I'm hoping they spawn. The only difference is I think they're Fanatic Purifiers. So I hope they spawn right next to Buddy. For old time's sakes. But no, we're doing what's it called? I mean, we're doing flippity, or at least I'm doing a technocracy with warrior culture. That way I can theoretically win the arms race early and then boost up my fleet capacity if I need to wage countermeasures. I mean, it'll probably blow up in my face, but still, it's a good idea on paper. I guess somebody else is going to try and use an inward perfection strat, so that should be funny to see.
How's the grinding?
Well, Failure Junior is still low 50s. Tomatoes like mid to high 40s. I think has Earthquake. Corey, you're telling me? Yeah, I've exhausted every single catchable Poliwhirl. It's a dang shame. More Graveler. But no, grinding's going decent.
You should put a different background behind the chat.
I just need to format the chat better. That was a very low effort solution for chat, and I was just like, meh. And the chat's actually fairly easy to edit. I have an editor that I use to help generate the script from YouTube. The actual backgrounds themselves, though, are hilariously what's it called? They're for use. Just because I was just like, fudge it, I need backgrounds. I don't want it just to be pitch black over there because that would look bad. But I can't get like full screen with the game either because I don't want to throw off its aspect ratio.
Should try to figure out how to do the what game you're playing as the background behind the deaths.
What, the same game?
Yeah, like instead of having the Pokemon Crystal version down in the bottom right, put it behind the deaths.
No, I probably could, but I feel
Do
like
as
it would look weird.
eh, not if you do it as a black and white image.
Probably right. But you know what? There's always Pokemon Emerald, and that's up next anyway. And I can do a little more finesse with that one because that one hopefully I'll beat clean. Otherwise, if I don't beat Emerald clean, I have to turn in my Gen 3 fan card, and I really don't want to do that. It's the only reason why I'm like really trying for Gen 2. I don't want to have to turn in my Gen 2 fan card. I already had to turn in my Gen 1 fan card, but I'll get it back. I get it back on my second attempt. I just got royally screwed over by RNGvis. Look at those stats. Like, Failure Jr. is a stud muffin. Too bad all water attacks are special attacks in this gen. Right. That's why we have Hyper Beam.
Well, enjoy your grinding.
Oh, I will. I mean, I won't, but I will.
Later.
Looters. Ah, man. More titular grinding. Waterfall is in this gen, Corey. A matter of fact, I have that on Failure Junior too. The bigger issue on hand is the physical special split did not occur until Gen 4, meaning that in Gens 1, 2, and 3, if a move was labeled water as its type, for instance, it's automatically a special move. Other examples being fire type or fire, electric, grass. Those are all special moves too. That sort of deal. So you end up with cases like Gyarados here, who is susceptibly bad in early games because the main access he has to stab attacks, being water type, really doesn't do him any good until Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. So in this case, I only have both Surf and Waterfall on Failure just to reduce the amount of times I have to go to the Pokemon Center. But otherwise, there's really no difference to them aside from 10 points of damage. 15 points of damage, my bad. I'm gonna go heal. I could get 2 battles, but I guess I'm gonna get 1 battle. Like, even Gen 3 will not fix that issue. That will still be a glaring issue when it comes to how I format movesets. Especially since I'm predominantly used to building for later gens now. But Gen 3 at least has a whole new region of Pokemon that I haven't put on my death counters yet, so there's that. Oh, it is. Worst part, it's not even the only Pokemon that gets mildly screwed by that. There's others out there too. Like, it hurts for Alligator as well. Reptar becomes way better in Heart Gold Soul Silver With the only nagging downside being the loss of Ice Punch as a TM option. But yeah, you never know how much you appreciate the physical special split until it's gone. I feel bad for any Hitmonchan fans out there, because if you played Pokemon back in Gen 1, or maybe you played the remakes, Fire Red and Leaf Green, and you beat the Fighting Dojo, and you're like, yeah, let's get Hitmonchan. He's a boxer. He's going to be Rocky Balboa. He's going to be awesome. And then you start teaching him the element punches, only to realize that they're garbage. That's true. Although Feraligatr did have a couple of cool tricks up its sleeve, even in Gen 2, and I actually made use of a few of them, especially Rage strats against Whitney. It didn't necessarily make the fight a breeze, and we still nearly died, but Feraligatr has stuff to work with. And again, shallow move pool is apparent across many Pokemon. Heck, even look at the Cyndaquil line. You get Ember, and then you don't get Flame Wheel for a while. But it could be worse. You could have picked the Chikorita. But yeah, no. I mean, not to mention you can also give Totodile. Totodile gets Bite, which I think is it might still be normal in this game, but I'm pretty sure it's dark. But that gives you an out to Morty theoretically. You get access to Fury Cutter, which can help you deal with your rival at the end of Azalea Town. There's a few options in there. Most of them are niche, but yeah, Feraligatr's very much workable, and the special attack stat, whilst bad, isn't absolutely terrible. Although I'm regretting that death in Mount Moon. If I still had that party I had before Toilet appeared out of nowhere and ruined us in Mount Moon, I'd probably be in Mount Silver by now, because that Starmie, that Clefairy, like that party was going places, and it's gone. I mean, that was one case where G.I. Joe literally was true in the concept of knowing being half the battle. Oh, come on. Golbat, you're like the worst Pokemon to encounter, but at least you're guaranteed one hit KO now. The other issue is, even when I get my entire team up to level 60, I don't know if I'm going to be able to beat Blue. His team is stacked. And the Executor, the Arcanine, that Pidgeot, he has his own Gyarados. Like, that team is deceptively powerful. What are my levels looking like anyway? 36, 36. Those hurt. These hurt so much. 33, 35, 32. Yeah, this is bad. It's actually funny about Crunch, because I think, like, I believe Crunch has that nice 10% chance to lower defense. But I think it's had that for, like, since the move's creation, despite the fact that it lived most of its life as a special move. Man, I'm almost at the point of grinditude where it would almost take less time for me to do a clean restart and get right back to this point than it would be to grind. Did Crunch have flinch? I know Bite does. I know the Fang moves do, but I didn't think Crunch also hung on to the 10% flinch chance. I could be mistaken, though. Although flinch is one of those things where, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. It's nice to be able to take a turn from your opponent, but let's be honest, the only time it really comes into play predominantly is whenever the move fake out comes out. I mean, flinch only works if you're faster to boot, and at least fake out gives you priority. Oh, Onyx, you're such a waste of a Pokemon attack. He just gives paltry experience compared to the rest. I'm actually half tempted to swap in Tomato, but I have this bad feeling that the moment I do, I'm going to be hit with some self-destruct garbage and immediately die. Because Tomato's hilariously slow. We'll give it a shot. You're level 37, you should be faster than some threats. If you encounter Graveler, I could probably go into Gyarados and live an explosion. If it's level 40. Here's what I'm talking about. I could actually lose my speed tie here and die. So I have to go into failure and potentially tank a self-destruct. There it is. That's still a lot of damage. Please tell me I have Moo Moo Milk. Oh wait, I'm thinking of a different Let's Play. Oh, am I like out of healing items predominantly? Oh hey, that's an iron. Okay, so I'm actually out of healables. That better not be a 40 Graveler. If I could take out... Okay. This is still bad. Come on, Tomato. I love Confuse Ray. No, that's a bad tomato. No, Confusion Flinch. Come on, Tomato. This is starting to get bad. Swap into Gyarados just until I get out of the cave for safety. But I'm going to try and make the grind go by faster. We're going to have Tomato lead its own grind. Because as Tomato starts leveling up, I feel like the speed deficit will finally not be an issue. And then we can go from there. I'm like almost out of money. Because even if I can only get a core of the team up high enough, that at least gives us a shot. See, this is stupid. That Graveler's going to self-destruct. I'm probably not faster. So I'm going to take a butt ton of damage. Or it just uses rollout instead. Okay, that's fine. But I can't risk it. I have lost one Quagsire and one Poliwhirl to self-destructs that were one-hit KOs here. Should probably teach Tomato Surf. I just want to hit a little harder than what Water Gun can give me. Because we're going to give Tomato Ice Punch as well. Because Ice Punch will at least allow us to 2-hit KO Golbat reliably. Instead, it's a battle of confusion. Come on, Tomato. Leave it to Tomato to eat through nearly... Oh, great, thanks! It's like, geez Louise, Tomato, really? Oh, I have 2 nuggets, cool. Really don't want to have to use them, though. Okay, I think we're gonna just say heck with it and wing it. Good. Good. That means I want to see a lot of Graveler. There we go. This will increase the grind. Oh, man. At least Tomato's almost level 40. Because if I get Tomato up high enough, I can have Tomato and Failure Jr. take turns in XP sharing the others. But the only issue is Golbat. Good RNG. Give me Graveler. Oh man, this is like the most lethargic part of the run. Goody. And the Earthquake's also an option. I'm just not using it because I don't know if the math for that works out my favor. As Graveler has a lot more defense than special defense. $39. His stats look bad. Every battle makes me miss my Staryu more and more. Come on, Tomato. No, that's a bad tomato. Don't do that. Ah, man. I'm still debating on whether or not to Blaze Gen 3. I'm trying real hard to be energized here. But, maybe. Okay, back to Victory Road. Cause like, I do have Fly. Okay. Cause that's like the terrible part. I have almost every gym badge. I'm only missing Viridian City, but I do not have a better spot to grind. It's Victory Road or bust. Cause I think I like crippled most of the other trainers. Or did I? I mean, I could go after Blue. Not Blue. Bleepin' Toilet. But Toilet might ruin me. And I do have a Mount Moon encounter. For what it's worth. Okay, we're going to move to leader anyway before we go up against Blue, so I'm going to teach Waterfall to Quagsire. I lied, I'm not going to teach Waterfall to Quagsire, but I am going to overwrite Slam for Strength. Same power, I lose 5 power point use, but I don't have to contend with Slam's horrific accuracy. Do I one hit KO of Earthquake? I'm actually curious. Okay, cool. Albeit that is an Onyx. Graveler, my favorite. Like, I'm still debating right now because I'm cereal. If I started up Emerald, I could probably get hecka far. And then probably die and end up having to grind an entire team again. I mean, they both have their ups and downs. That being said, I do have plans to return. Specifically, I know I want to return and do Gen 1 again. Because I had multiple mess ups that were, in fact, my fault. And likewise, I'm probably going to do Gen 2 over. I'm not doing it over, because, like, these runs that I've done of 1 and 2 will always be there as a reminder. But I want to take another crack at Gen 2 just to attempt to do it in. Well, you know what I mean. It's easier than it looks because you have momentum and everything's going good and you're just ruining people, and then next thing you know, this avalanche of destruction catches up with you. Before you know it, bam, starter dead. Bam, first party dead. Bam, 10 Pokemon dead. Bam, 20 Pokemon dead. And then eventually you get a death counter that looks like mine. Which is sad because Gen 2 started off really good. Like, I really didn't have many losses until. Like, I lost to the Widow relatively. Or Ghastly was extremely early, but, like, Victory Bell and Ariados was, like, Victory Tower, to give you an idea. And then, like, Suicune and Reptar and that came during first attempt at the Elite Four. And even this, like, again, if hindsight being 2020, had I not been stupid and bum rushed Mount Moon for an encounter, then I would have never battled Toilet and we probably would be sitting better, but that's in the past, unfortunately. Which is why we're using table scraps. Not to mention, it isn't until you've committed a mass genocide of the Pokédex that you start to realize how important the bad Pokemon are. You start getting to that state where you treasure HMs as valued sources of solid damaging moves. And I know you used to make all these jokes about how the paper will guide the run, but no, the paper just got burnt. It like burned to cinders after that party died at Mount Moon. Well, it's okay, because we got the tomato. So right now I'm gonna give Bill experience share. What are you holding? Oh. Because Bill's about to level up, I can spread levels with tomato and lead. Okay, I'm actually curious. How much does a hit of strength do at this point? So even strength is a 2-hit KO. Yeah, like I'm gonna give up a move to give you poison gas. Get out of here. Grinding, grinding, grinding all day long. Wow! Uh-oh, this one was faster. Who's that Pokemon? It's another Onyx! It's okay. It'll die like the rest. It'll be okay. Alright. Finally, some variety. Actually, I'm gonna exit Victory Road because I feel like I screwed up my timing. Oh, that's because I did. That is unfortunate. So, any avid viewers out there would have noticed at the start of a stream you saw Rhyhorn and Rhydon O'Plenty and some Sandslash, and now you haven't seen any of those. Well, that is because it has swapped to night. And nighttime in Victory Road is boring AF because it only features 3 Pokemon. You also statistically get less experience in the overall grind. When you grind in Victory Road during the day, you have chances of Rhydon, which gives the most experience, Sandslash, which gives a fairly decent amount of experience, and Rhyhorn, which gives a decent but better than Onyx levels, whilst also lowering the encounter rate slightly of Onyx and hugely of Golbat. The former being a waste of a Pokemon move, given the low amount of experience it generates on its KO, and the latter being stupidly annoying to go up against if you do not have something super effective to one-hit KO. And while night grinding is slower, the major benefit is you can plan for it slightly better. You have a more general idea of what you're gonna fight with every encounter. Do I even have like anything feasible? Is this a dead box? This is the very much alive but terrible box. So I do theoretically have other options, but they're bad. Like I might use Mothra, but they're all really bad. Yeah, they're all not worth it. I have 18 Pokemon left in the box. I've KO'd 33. That's rough. Oh man, is there a bargain sale? Oh, a battle. I wouldn't normally do this, but I want a little excitement that isn't just grinding. So to help break the monotony, I am gonna go punch Campertod's lights out. because he disturbed the grind. Matter of fact, I'm gonna Bill do it. We're gonna give Camper Todd the gift of slow torture. Watch Todd pull level 50s on me. We should have this in the bag. Before you start feeling sorry for Todd, he had it coming to himself. Alright, Todd, this better be worth my time. Oh, bro! Bro, I'm sorry. There we go. A hole in one. You kinda did. Do I have anything in daycare? I have this bad feeling I don't. Okay. I don't have anything in daycare. I do have one other strat. I'm gonna pull some Pokemon and throw them in daycare. With the hope being that possibly after my grind, they may be feasible, but I doubt it. So we're gonna pop you guys out for now. Kane. Actually, I might just run Kane in my main party instead of Volty. Flying Poison, weak to Psychic, can probably... Yeah. Yeah, I think I am, actually. Volty can go in daycare and become useless. But let's put Rat Bait in daycare. Because we'll just say fudge it and use Kane. And then let's sling... Man, I pop Ragweed in there, but then they'd fornicate. I mean, the other options are bad too, but let's put Rocky... Yeah, let's put Rocky 4 in there. Hopefully they don't fornicate. So now we'll grab Top Gun. So now I need to go down here and make sure we're not going to attempt to fornicate. Good. So now We need to go back to Victory Road. There we go. So I'll stop grind on Bill when he gets level 40. We'll start grinding Kane near immediately. Because for me, if we might be able to turn this around if I can make Kane into a Crobat. Like, his move pool will be shallow AF, but as a Crobat, I should be able to threaten and possibly put down Blue's Executor, and maybe even his Alakazam. And if I can take care of both of those, I need to turn off battle animations, but if I can take care of both of those Pokemon, the path to victory is in front of us. I already have answers for most of his other team. Oh, and those animations are why they're turned off. If I did all of my grinding with Annie's on, holy smokes. We would be here forever. Okay, more rocks. Ideally, we get Tomato to around level 50 by the time we get Bill to around level 40. And even if Bill gets to 40 first, which will probably happen, I can just plug in Top Gun at that point and get Top Gun to 40. I want Kane to be last just so I can start having an impact on his friendship by him accumulating steps. And while that'll happen at an extremely slow rate, the level ups will also increase his friendship a lot, and I want to stack those when I know I can get him to evolve. Increase the odds of leveling, that way I don't have to over level him just to get Crobat. There we go. I think this is the E team as well. Just imagine a team of this run's top ringers. I feel like it would be all water type. Matter of fact, it would be all water type. Like, shoot, the more I think about it, Reptar is a water type, you'd have a Poliwrath, you'd probably have two Poliwraths, you'd have a Gyarados. Like, yeah, maybe a lot of water types. But they're progressing at a decent pace. Today is Wednesday. I wouldn't have had enough coins anyway. Let's say I believe on Wednesday in front of Goldenrod Game Corner, you can purchase TMs for Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, and Flamethrower, but they cost a lot of coins, and I'm not necessarily wealthy. I have obliterated so much money in this run. So I'm actually going to enjoy Gen 3 a little. I actually like the Gen 3 TM list. And well, it only really adds dive for HMs, which is kind of low-key useless. It has a lot of treasures in the TM list. Like, I mean, shoot, Gyms alone gives you bulk up and calm mind. You'll get overheat, you'll get facade, which is amazing. You get, what's one from Winona? Aerial Ace. I'm not saying Aerial Ace is the best move ever, but it's still pretty good. Same with Water Pulse for decent side standards. Like, I think the weakest... Oh, same with Shockwave. Like, literally, the weakest TM on the list is arguably Rock Tomb. And even then, it has its use. Whereas, I feel like Gold and Silver, their TM list was a lot more experimental. Like, for starters, with extremely limited exception, you did not get TMs from Kanto Gems, which was kind of lame. But then looking at like the Johto Gems, it's like, okay, you get Mud Slap, which is kind of bad. You get Fury Cutter, which is situational. And mind you, it only had base 10 power in this gen. You get Attract, which is situational. You get Shadow Ball, which is really good. You get Dynamic Punch, which is kind of laughably bad. No abilities. You get Iron Tail, which is also kind of bad. Icy Wind, which is also kind of bad. Especially in a game where you get Ice Punch really early as a TM.